최고.
Down these tunes here in the background. All right, let's get it in. How are y'all doing today? It's a lovely day down here in Austin, Tejas. All that snow be gone. A lot of pipes is broken, but it's all good. They're getting fixed. Welcome to the show. It's your boy, Z-Rex, No Noiz. We are coming at you live on Feb 23, 2021. And boy, do we got some things to talk about today. Yeah. I'm sure if you're paying attention to markets at all, you already done seen it. Did see it. Pretty bloody across the board. You can see just on the podcast list I got it over here. It's just red everywhere. It's bloody day. Even in equities, gold, silver, everything is just getting a little bit bloody. So the bears said, hey, don't forget about us. We still do exist. There are some coins that are defying the bear claw, which Phantom, pretty wild, up 30%. Solana, a couple of these guys, Atom. Yeah, I haven't really looked at any of these in a while, but we'll go check some out here in a little bit after we get through the first set of coins and tradables that we like to look at pretty much every day. So let's just jump right into it and start talking about it, because, whoa! Total market cap taking a nice little shite on itself, down all the way over here to the yellow 21 at about 1.4 billion, coming off that 1777 billion, so 1.7 trillion. I'm sorry, not 1.4 billion, my bad. 1.7 trillion. So we lost a good chunk of some billions here, about 20%. And I am in log, so that probably doesn't look as crazy as it does in linear. You can see it's a little bit more aggressive, not too bad, but about 20%. Somebody was definitely dumping like a mofo on this. Pretty gnarly. Altcoins also getting taken to the shed a little bit. Now let's go jump over to Mama Bear and see if we can get any kind of clues. As we were talking about yesterday, we were very concerned about the breakage of this trend line, and also Ethereum, which looked absolutely terrible yesterday, did unfortunately get some follow through, or fortunately, maybe you're bearish and you played the downside on this, so you're probably pretty happy if you did do so. But yeah, nice rejection off of this bot underbelly of this trend line, and the EMAs crossing over. When you get rejections from the crosses like that, that's usually very bad. That pretty much happened right after the stream. We were talking about getting some type of big rally before possible continuation, but we really wanted to see it close above here, and it did. It gave us a little doji right above it on the 3 hour, but ultimately it wasn't enough. Got rejected immediately with an engulfing all below price action. And actually this 3 hour that closed, let's see, it was at 6, so at 9 o'clock Central Standard, actually closed below that 31.5 area that we were looking for, and ultimately 51.5, 31.5. That's way down there. Let's not go there yet. But the 51.5 area got taken out, and then the next candle right below 51,000, and just got really, really ugly. Even we were talking about any wick below 51K probably gets us continuation, and unfortunately we did get that. It's all good though. Bitcoin's trying to set a base here. We do have all the EMAs opening to the downside, so it's not super great. And there's any divergences or nothing popping up on oscillators. The bears do have firm control at the moment. And we did get all the way to this 48 target. And even below it, and now the 48,000 level is already acting as resistance on these last three 3 hour candles, and this next one's about to print in 30 minutes, so unless we get some pretty big rally here in the next half hour, we will be back into this range. So was this a little bit of blow-off top action while we consolidate like we were talking about yesterday? It does appear to be so. We want to stay in this range here. Any moves back below 46,000, it's almost a certainty that we come back and test the bottom end of this channel. I'm sorry, this range that we got plotted out here, we've been watching for a few weeks. So anything below 46 probably gets us into 43, 42 area. And if we break 42, this big candle here in this horizontal, and start opening and closing 3 hours below the 200 simple, which is this dotted gray line here, we probably will test the red 377 at 40 even, but that really does open up to the doors all the way into the upper 30s for maybe a retest of this breakout zone right here. So it's definitely, the bulls got a lot of work to do right now. The bears definitely came in and made a little slappy slap. And I am going to just go ahead and erase this trend line now because it has played out and it already exists. Wait, it did exist. That's not the right word. It already played out and it's done. We don't need it no mo. All right, let's go to the daily. So the daily divergence, the bearish divergence we've been kind of watching for the last week, looks like it ended up playing out. We're right here on the 21 daily though, so this is real good support in this range box, again, like we were just looking at in the lower time frames. You do see that the 55 is down here in that 40 upper 30s area that we just spoke about. But that's not really in play until we break a 3 hour, even a wick below 43.5 will probably get us down there. But right now it looks okay. It's trying to set in a base for now, but we need a lot more action to see if this is going to be able to sustain it. Bulls, y'all better step your asses up. Let's see. We do have a little doji kind of spinny thing here in the bottom, so that's really adding the confirmation of that 46,000 level. Let's go to futures. Futures all the way into the consolidation zone. Nothing really, no divergences, nothing. Same as spot price. Anything, I mean, all the numbers are about the same too, give or take a couple $100 or so. So we won't need to touch on that. Although I do, hold on, let's go look at weekly on. Oh yeah, this is that also on? It is. So this is not a good setup for the weekly. If we don't get price on the weekly to close back above about 50-ish K on spot and above about 49, 50K on spot, this is going to be like a tweezer top type of formation on a weekly, and that is very noteworthy. You do not want to see that print. So yeah, like I said just a second ago, the bulls got a lot of work to do. The last time we had a similar type pattern is actually back over here in the end of the run in 2017. We did have a little fake out, to be fair, right here before this one actually did play out. So maybe if you're super bullish, you're probably hoping for something like this to happen over the next couple of weeks. But right now, the bears are, I wouldn't say they're in control because daily time frame, we're still above the daily 21 and ultimately the mama and 55. So still got some work to do for the bears to really get the momentum to the downside, but they're close. So now let's see what the bulls can do. Ethereum did put in a nice little bottoming type candle right here early in the morning today. Nice reaction off of that. It's still not confirmed as a bottoming candle though. We need more data and we really need to start getting back above the 10 simple, the cyan here, moving average. Other than that though, it does look really bad. You see this opening EMAs all the way to the downside in the chronological order on the medium time frames. So that's not great. It is getting caught by the longest term one that I use is a 377 right around this candle. So that is nice. I do like that. If we can just hold above about 1420, 1440, I do think that this will continue to the upside. That doesn't mean that we're going to break out and go above 2000 quite yet. We do need more data for that. But it probably would open up the door to retest up here in the mid upper 1700 range. And then we can see what goes on there. Let's zoom in here. Do have even on the RSI with lots of lower price action. It looks more like this one's higher when you have it zoomed out, but that's pretty flat, so that's giving good convergence for maybe possibly this being a bottoming candle. And ultimately, let's also see the 3 hour get back above the exponential here. So if we do see that, we probably get a run up to about 17 and then maybe get up into this zone with all this consolidation between 1730 and 1830 would probably be the target if we can get above the cyan 10 simple on the 3 hour. You can see the volatility HPV that we've been no, not HPV, HVP. Wrong acronym. But yeah, so you can see this was saying volatility is getting super low. And again, this doesn't imply direction. It's just saying that a big move is likely coming as volatility gets compressed, measured against itself in the past. So we did get that break here. Ethereum just looking like booty. I mean, this is a big move. This is about 33% down. And like we looked at before, let's look at this actually on Ethereum to see if it kind of holds true as well. We don't have as much data, so it's not going to be as good. Yeah, it does. And we got the 45% that ended up marking. So as we talked about in yesterday's video with Bitcoin, whenever it's dumped 40 to 50% from a local high, that iced the rally every time. All the way back 11 years. There wasn't one instance that it didn't ice the rally. In 2013, the only thing that was a little bit different about that one is it iced it just for a second, had a 60-70% ultimate crash, and then within, you know, that same year, to be fair, it did rally back up to some new super aggressive highs, as you can see right here. Different market, though, right now. The regime is definitely much different than this time here in 2013, for sure. A lot more players in the game. But yeah, this weekly candle, we do not want it to close like this. It would be very unsexy. All right, let's go back to Ethereum. Sorry. Yeah, so got to get back above these areas about 1650, and that probably gets us into the mid 17s, and then we'll have to just reassess. Right now, the bears have shown their hand, and so we just got to be a little bit patient and get some more data out of that. How about ETH futures? ETH futures looking pretty bad. Man, I don't have any of my horizontals on here. Let's throw those up real quick. Little Alt-H action. 20 read on the RSI daily. Can't even plot it. There's not even enough data to do any of the oscillators. That's funny. But yeah, it's kind of same as spot. We just really need another month or so we can start plotting all the different indicators for that one. All right, let's see. Litecoin. Oof, gosh, Litecoin. 30. All right, so again, on Ethereum and Litecoin, Bitcoin didn't have quite as big of a dip. Let's go measure it real quick. Yeah, it's only about 23%. Like we did yesterday, that 35% area is right where this horizontal is at about 37,000. We really got to stay above this zone here, which is coinciding nicely with the 377. If we get a pullback of that 40% range from this high, I'd be very concerned about BTC and further upside past at least local highs. As you know, back in the day when this happened, you did have a violent move after it did sell off, you know, another 25%, 30% to come up and test close, but it ultimately failed. And that was probably close to a 618 retracement too. Let's see. Yeah, pretty damn close at about 15, 16K. So we don't want to see that. Litecoin, definitely weak. Got monkey hammered. They look almost the same. They have these little bottoming type candles around the 377. Does Bitcoin have that? No, the 377 on Bitcoin's all the way at 40. So maybe Bitcoin's just showing some relative strength, but Ethereum, Litecoin have very, very similar charts. But there's the oscillators are still bearish as F. Like there is nothing bullish about any of this setup yet. And we're getting all these wicks too on these 3 hours. We really needed to get back above 175 on Litecoin specifically to really kind of get the bulls back excited, get some bull boners going, because otherwise this is looking pretty gnarly. You can see it even broke this trend line a long time ago. Took a little retest, but ultimately just rolled over in this kind of rounded top formation. We will get rid of that line too because it's no longer relevant. Rips couldn't keep it up, went right up to the I mean, what the hell? It just went right up to the target, like or not the target, but just the upper end of the range in this trend line yesterday after the stream. Immediate rejection. This is real ugly if you ever see this kind of stuff. That means sellers in this case and bears were like, nah, bitch, stay down. You ain't coming up here. And you can see there was massive sell-off on that. Almost 38% from there. But even from here is probably 40. Yeah, wow, 44% from this local high. That is a pretty, excuse me, that is a pretty gnarly move on XRP, especially when it was looking really good yesterday relative to the other coins in this formation. But as soon as you get this engulfing candle right here, it's over. It's done. And in trading, you got to be able to switch your mind and your positions or go to cash whenever you, when your narrative gets broken. And when you cut like butter through all the EMAs on one candle, usually not a good sign ever, even if it's to the top or bottom, whichever way that does get sliced. And so you can see one more candle got rejected where all these are starting to cross, and it just got real gnarly. 120% candle late last night. Also bouncing off this 377 though. So it looks like a lot of the altcoins, not majors outside of Bitcoin, are kind of having the same posturing. So that's not terrible. Oh, let's see. On Ripple, if we could close and stay above like lower 40s, like 40 to 43 cents, it's probably going to be okay. This is a pretty good reaction off this low so far. Let's see, 3 hour. Yeah, they're just so bearish on the oscillators. We just need some more candles and see if they can get back above their thresholds. Yeah, this one looks actually more like Bitcoin, where it bounced off the 200, and the 377 is much lower. Getting rejection in all these EMAs and the trend line, not sexy. Don't want to see that. Volatility is expanding on this move too. The best thing on the daily is we're still on this trend line. Let's see where this day closes. We still got 6 whole hours for that, but lower time frames are starting to look a little bit sketchy on the dot. But ultimately above 28, 27 bucks, it's okay. But it really depends on what Mama Bear does at this point. All right, let's go to Link. Link kind of just going flat, rolled over, got caught by the daily mama, the purple line there. Kind of similar posturing again with these altcoins going to the 377s on the 3 hour, putting in pretty nice candles, to be fair there. So as long as these alts are staying above these candles on the 3 hour time frame, I'm not too concerned about some further downside. But as soon as we start taking like these out again, then this is probably going to get a lot bloodier. And if you've been in crypto a long time, you do know that happens all the time. It's brutal. Wow, ADA still looks pretty damn good, actually, relatively speaking. Who would have thunk it? Getting caught off the 21, now hanging out right around the 10 simple at about 95 cents. So a lot of resistance between 95 and about $1. 0.05. That's the supply kind of zone right now. Oh, bearish on the oscillators, though. No divergence, nothing. So the bears, they're firmly in grasp, actually, of ADA on the low time frames. But on the high time frame, anything still above this trend line, yeah, you know, looks pretty good. You know, depending where your position might be on this, if you do have one, you have to kind of go accordingly. Obviously, you've been trading lower time frames. You're going to be watching this, and any closure back below about 80 cents probably gets us to test this trend line here around 60-cent area. Bitcoin Cash got absolutely monkey hammered. Look at this super sideways action all the way from the 14th on Valentine's Day and didn't do shit. It literally just went sideways. And generally when price does this, it is bullish. When you consolidate at the top of candles or at the top of like a range like this. But immediately you just broke the trend line, and then you get this big engulfing that actually even goes all the way 25% down. But it engulfs the body all these previous days, or like a week and a half of business. So really this candle here breaking this trend line was very unsexy. And if we zoom out, you can see it's even less sexy on the 3 hour. Breaking it, come back, tests it, breaks it again, goes through all of the EMAs like butter, and just keeps going down from there. But again, you do have the same posturing as all the alts here. Pretty much the same shit going on around the 377. Putting in these little spinny kind of buyer doji dillies, kind of, you know, it could be a couple different ones. Let's see. Bounced nice off that mama, though, at 430. What a move. What is this? 40% down. Not surprising. This shit happens. It is very... Oh, gosh. Craig. Oh, poor Craig. Craig just doesn't get any love. Down 35%-ish from these highs. I mean, it was ugly yesterday, and the ugliness continued through to today. This one doesn't even have any of the bottoming type formations. The best thing is it's just on this trend line. Anything back below 175, and Craig's probably going to go down to like 160. So, Craig, right, you're not doing all right at the moment. What the hell? Right back into this stupid range it's been in for the millennia. Look at this, just 170, 180. I mean, geez. Pretty wild little pattern. If it can hold on here, maybe it gets some upside off this upsloping trend line and the pressure. But yeah, anything back below like 170-ish, I'd start to get pretty damn concerned. EOS, Larimer got murdered today too. Not a surprise. With everything just selling off. Bears are trying to come up into the power zone on the daily, so that's very significant. Again, though, same pattern as all the other ones, so you can kind of just go around and look at all these on the 3 or 4 hour. They're probably going to show about the same thing. Any closures back below, or even wicks back below these bodies on all these trading pairs, probably brings in more downside. Oh, and then one thing I wanted to bring up on Ethereum was that we talked about this daily DMI reading. If it closed above in the power zone, that would be extremely bad, because that hasn't literally happened all the way back to a blip. It had a little blip here for one day and back in September, so that's very noteworthy. So again, the bears are making themselves known right now, because everyone's been so goddamn euphoric about everything, getting added to pump groups left and right. Like, I'm not even asking to get in them, and it's like, oh, you're in this new alt pump group. So euphoria was very strong. Let's go look at Monero. Same thing. Look at this, right off of 377. Kind of has the same posturing. But bulls got work to do. There is no doubt about it. On a lot of these too, on the higher time frames, I mean, this is some damage right here. This could stall these trends out for a hot minute. Weekly, I guess, still looks okay on this guy. Staying above 160 if you're a really long-term trader and using high time frames. Because if you're using higher time frames, you're not buying up here. You would be buying somewhere in this zone. Maybe if you're super badass, you might be buying over here in this range that it's been in, but it's better to wait for confirmation, at least how I like to trade. But yeah, so weekly's still okay on Monero, but man, with Bitcoin rolling over like it is, and even traditional markets rolling over, I would be very cautious of these altcoins. Zcash, same thing. Let's zoom in a little bit. Broke outside of the resistance line, came up, looked okay, immediately just got rejected, lost momentum here on RSI first, and then DMI joined it around this price action, coinciding with the trend line crosses. I'm sorry, the moving average crosses, breakdown, continuation, and we're even below this trend line. This actually looks pretty gnarly. It really needs to get back above 133 to get the bull boner going. And again, same posturing, 377 3 hours. So we're having a lot of confluence and similar price action across most of the alts that we've looked at already. Any close back below these bodies, and you can pretty much apply this to any of these coins. Any close, or even Wix, I think will do it. We'll probably get further downside. Dash probably in the similar situation. Now it's a little bit higher, so it's not even at the 200. So it's showing a little bit more strength. Just off candles anyway, but oscillators very bearish still in the 3 hour. It's kind of like Bitcoin's chart right here. You do have all the EMAs crossed up though, so anything below this 244 level, pretty bearish on the 3 hour. Doge basing still on a Satoshi level at these mid 90s, which is a little bit surprising. A dollar pair actually, obviously fell down quite a bit because of Mama Bear crashing, but it is kind of surprising that Doge is holding the mid 90s Satoshi level. Again, anything above 90, low 90s, it's still okay. We break low 90s, we probably go test the 80-ish area, and anything below 80, Doge is pretty toast. I would look for Doge to make, just pretty much dump violently if we get below 80 sats. Let's see here. Riding that trend line down on the daily with a little kind of a... This looked nice for a second. Immediate rejection, though. And now we're getting all the EMAs opening up on the dollar pairing, and we're back below this trend line. So, not very sexy on the dollar pairing. But on the Satoshi pairing, it looks okay. So Doge... losing that, 4.8 cent level, tested this previous consolidation right here and some of these retests of the high. So if it loses again the 4 cent level, we probably test low 3 cents, and then we'll just have to see what goes on from there. Right now, again, bears are just showing their hand, so we just need a little bit more data before can make really good assessments. Let's go look. Yeah, Bitcoin just keeps... We're almost done with this 3 hour candle print, and it tried earlier. You can see if we zoom in, it attempted real quick to get up there. Immediate rejection. Even the low time frames right now are opening back up to the downside, so this is not looking good. As we discussed on yesterday's video, if we're going to do something maybe similar to this price action, maybe we're just going to do a little consolidation here for the next month or so. That's definitely in the cards. Very early to say that, but it definitely could happen. Again, this range is really important, the 48 and 43 and 43, 43 range. So, yeah, let's go to traditional markets. They're getting a little monkey hammered as well. Actually, I need to pull up a chart real quick. I did go long on that dip on traditional markets. I didn't get the alert yet, so I think I'm good. Yep, I'm good on that. No worries. And I used the rut for that. I just bought some of the dip this morning. But not looking really great. I'm just kind of scalping that for the day. That's not for a long-term hold. I don't really like this structure. We got a lot of work to do on ES too to get back above the bullish, back in the bullish zone. You can see we came right up to our target area, just under 4,000 with a little rejection candle, and we just got continuation of that. Pretty ugly. I mean, this is a big move to the downside. Let's see. Yeah, everything is pretty bearish on here. Like I said, I'm just playing a little bit of a short intraday kind of trade for Russell. Just, we get a lot of relief bounces. It's hard to keep this market down. I mean, a lot of stuff. Just for an example, let's go over here to, I was looking at this earlier in the morning. Oh, not financials. I meant this one. You can see like Netflix, a lot of stuff just like started selling off hard and got bid up and was even up on the day. Same with Facebook, Amazon, just looking kind of ugly. This is a funky ass chart on Amazon, range bound for freaking 8 months or whatever. But yeah, so a lot of stuff is getting bid after getting slapped really hard. So I was just that was just my basis for that. Let's go back over to NASDAQ, or to NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks pretty sick. Anything sub, we broke this line here, came, retested it, that 13.3 level we've been watching for a hot minute. Came up, retested it, immediate rejection. And so now we can even lower that. Anything still below about 13,000, 13.1 is pretty damn bearish on NASDAQ. And all the oscillators are very much agreeing with that. Let's see. YM is kind of an interesting chart here, though. The Dow is actually not breaking the structure. So this is a little surprising to me. It tried earlier, but it's holding that 31.2, 31.1 area that we've been watching for a while. And just kind of odd that it's not really selling off that hard. I mean, look, Russell's down 2%. What do we got? NQ down 2%, and YM's pretty much flat. I mean, it's down like 0.5%, but that's pretty flat relative to those other moves, and relative to the price action too. Any closes, we got to have the bodies closes below that 31.2 area, and that'll probably get us in this range here. And conversely to the upside, any closures back above this trend line will probably make us some new highs on the Dow. But we do have this little rounded formation. Let's go look at the transportation index. Dow Jones, if you're familiar with Dow theory, you would be looking at this a lot. That's interesting. It's not even down that much. And it's still at like highs. All-time highs. Huh. Well, yeah, maybe this is just a quick little fast mega liquidation break for the markets. Huh. I wouldn't have expected that. All right, give me 1 second here. I need to move this over for a minute and just check something. Okay, whatever, that don't matter. That's all good. All right, back to the charts. Russell trying to get support right here at the 200. Bounced right off of this 2160 level that we've been watching for a hot minute. So that's pretty nice. I do like that for some bull possibly continuation. But right here on this daily, though, if the daily candle closes anywhere below 21 or 22.15, this actually is going to be pretty bearish still. So I don't like that. And we do have EMAs opening up to the downside. And bears are in full control on the 3-hour at the moment. Let's see how this daily closes. If we can get back above the 21, ultimately though above 22.15, this probably will get some continuation back to the upside. Oh, had to drink a little bit of water. VIX, so VIX having that basing type pattern, said it was not likely, but definitely in the cards that it popped. And this 3-hour setup right here on VIX is pretty sexy for some continuation to the upside. I mean, look at all the EMAs. They are stacked all on each other right around between 22.5 and 23.5. So as long as VIX is above this level, the pressure's on. And that pressure is going to bleed over into the cryptocurrency markets too. So definitely watching the VIX here. I'm going to make an alert actually real quick while we're talking about that. Anything crossing down 23 Dara will probably, oh man, yeah, getting rejections on the longer term, and you can see too daily 25.5. So VIX back above 25.5. Let's zoom in a little bit. I don't need the daily alert. I want that to be a little faster. So anything back above 25.5, we're going to get some pretty mega pressure on markets. VVIX is not really doing anything today, which is surprising. This is the volatility of volatility. Kind of weird that it's just chilling. Really, I mean, literally dead ass flat pretty much, doing absolutely nothing. Oh, look at that. Russell just, there you go, dumping it out. Said, nope, we out of here. We out. So I got to close that position. So, nope, sorry, I had to take that off. I just got the alert. That's just a little scalper account that I like to use. So, yep, lost on that one, but that's okay. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's the narrative, you know, whenever price gets to your level, when you make the trade, you just got to take it off. You should know your exit on both sides when you enter a trade. Otherwise, you'll be prone to managing your position off of emotion, and that will usually destroy that ass. Anyway, back over here to the VVIX. Just kind of chilling. Again, the bears have a lot of control right now in the low time frames. Let's see, what is this? Oil's actually holding up pretty good today. Not too shabby on oil. Let's see if energy stocks are actually agreeing with that. Yes, they are. Most of them are up, surprisingly. Some of them are even up pretty good percentage points. Huh. That's pretty wild. So oil kind of saying, hey, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about this. Let's see here. Man, a little violent move over on that. How do I... On that little dump. Might probably just shook me out of that trade, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. It's small lunch money trades, so it's all good. I don't like to put a lot of money in intraday trading because that can get real dangerous real fast. All right, let me change something over here on the performance. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. Oil looks all right. Looks nice. This is kind of bodes well for continuation on the overall market. Oh, stupid -40 wick. So we got this trend line very clearly about here-ish. So anything kind of riding up that, don't have any reason to be bearish on oil. 3 hour looks okay. EMAs are opening up. A lot of times this is actually a good reaccumulation area because it's easy to manage risk here. You can kind of just be like, oh, once it drops below, you know, this cluster here, about $60, can let it go. I'm already long energy, so I won't be adding to that at the moment, given some of the pressures we're seeing on the market. So I'll just wait for this week probably to see on Friday what I might do with those. Bonds just get no love. Surprise, bonds aren't jumping at all on the sell-off today. Usually bonds like to rally when the market sells off. And a mistake that I made recently on bond trading, I have a lot of positions open, and last week was crazy. But ultimately, you know, you got to take responsibility for your mistakes. And when I did get long on this a week ago or so, when it broke down, I should have already peeled it off. So this one, it did take some of my profits away for the year, but that's okay. Live and learn. Everybody does make mistakes, but just, again, adhere to your trading plan. Plan the trade, trade the plan. And that's very important to do because, like I said, you'll start to get emotionally, and you'll start to manage emotionally, and that's really, really dangerous. Because you're like, oh, it'll just go up, and then it just keeps going down. Oh, it'll go up this time, and then it just keeps going down. And then how long do you ride it? You know, do you ride it to zero, or until your account goes bust, or whatever? So definitely do try to stick to your trading plans. I just wanted to share that with you. It does happen, even if it doesn't matter how long you've been trading. You're gonna take losses and you're gonna make mistakes. and that was just one. That was probably one of the bigger ones that I've made this year. Not like dollar-wise, but just of stupidity of not managing that position correctly. So after that happened, I actually started cleaning up some of my positions. I was like, man, I'm just spread out a lot between crypto and traditional markets. I mean, I probably have like 50 positions on or something right now. It might even be more. And that's a lot to manage, you know, if it's just like one person. And you don't do this 100% full time, 8 hours a day, which I don't. I run a business too, so that is a mucho management there. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Not everybody, no one's perfect in the trading world. All right, Shanghai. Shanghai actually looks pretty good right here. I like this area. Anything back below 35.80, maybe test the trend line, but ultimately just watching this trend line. If it holds that, it actually looks still very bullish. Dixie. Ew, Dixie did close below these lows here, and now is getting rejected by the mama. So as long as it stays below 990.30, pretty fugly. 3 hour, pretty bearish. Yeah, Dixie's got some major pressure on it, which is still odd because the TNX just is rallying every day. This is the 10-year Treasury yield. Just rallying every single day pretty much for the last several weeks. While dollar's just flat. Just very odd. A lot of correlations are totally broken. We've talked about that in previous videos. When you get to the latter stages of bull markets, kind of just got to throw correlations out the window and watch stuff individually. Let's see. It actually works like that too to the downside. In big bear markets, actually everything becomes correlated. If you've noticed, gold and even Bitcoin and all kinds of stuff, just when selling pressure happens, I mean, everything just dumps. People gotta raise cash to cover other positions, or margin requirements expand drastically in times like that. So, but again, I digress a little bit. This is just kind of crazy that TNX is continuing to rally, putting pressure on the markets like we talked about yesterday. These companies can't finance debt and service debt at higher yields than zero, pretty much. I mean, once you get over like 1.5, it starts to get real dangerous. All right, gold. Gold has no, does not. Gold's still bearish, man. Gold is still pretty damn bearish. Let's go to the 2-day. Yeah, wow. Gold better get the party going here in the next week and break this trend line, or we're probably gonna roll over. And we keep tapping on this 1776 area. It's gonna get real fugly for gold. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's pull up some volume profile. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised with a quick test of this range, and if this range doesn't hold up in low 1700s, I mean, going back to the 1500 handle becomes very real on gold. So gold, get to work. Come on, bulls, what are y'all doing? Gold. Peter Schiff says it's going to 80 million this year. All right, silver. Nice trend line still. Silver looks okay. Looks a lot better than gold's chart. It's pretty wild that 1 PM is doing so much better than the other. PM is precious metals, if you don't know. This could be a good reaccumulation zone for silver. Let's not make a lower low here on this structure below 2730-ish. We make a body, which actually coincides very nicely with the mama here at 2720s. So if we close anywhere below like this wick right here, I'd probably look for it to come and tap into the trend line, and then we'll just have to reassess from there. But it still looks pretty much intact to the upside. Let's look at platinum. Kind of similar-ish. Not on the medium time frames. Nope. I will renege that. Yeah, it kind of looks bad. If we close up below all this, that engulfs all this price action. That's not very sexy. EMAs are start opening up. So Platinum's getting some pressure on it. Below 1270, 1280. I'd say this rally's a little bit toasted. Maybe we test down here to 1200 flat and see what happens. But yeah, let's go weekly. Weekly still looks really good though. Anything above this big candle, which is also the trend line in the 10 simple, 1130, 1140, still intact, but the lower time frames are showing a little bit of weakness. Palladium, ooh. What's Palladium doing? Just same range bound shit. We're just skipping that one because whatever. Hot goddamn same forever. We don't need none of that, okay? Uh-oh. Ethereum, what are you doing? What are you doing, bitty Bitcoin and Ethereum? Don't you be rolling over. Going all in short. No, I'm just kidding. Shorting in this kind of market is usually pretty damn dangerous. All right, I'm just looking at my other screen real quick because I don't like some of this price action at all. Like, this is not good. Yeah, it looks like we are going to get some continuation to the downside. These wicks on this 3 hour that just closed 10 minutes ago, we were just talking about, this is ugly. This is really ugly. Ethereum, yeah, man. I mean, it's ugly, but it's gonna get confirmed ugly if we wick back below 46K. So it's okay right now, but do be careful in this range. If you're like super exposed right now, I know I took off a good chunk of my stuff last night, and on even some of this bounce here that happened in this upper range. What is this? Whoa, stop giving me all these alerts. In this upper range up here, when it bounced early this morning, just, you know, I just don't like it coming back into the breakout range of 42, 48. I'm just not a fan of that for bulls. We closed back above 48. Oh, sweet. I love that. I might even start adding back onto my current holdings, but right now, just gonna kind of wait it out. We need more data. Ethereum, just kind of chilling. Not pretty bad rejection candle. We were talking about one of these on Ripple earlier. Yeah, these aren't good. It's not what you want to see if you're bullish. That's for sure. Let's see what traditionals are doing. Yeah, of course. There's that rip. Did shake me out of that little position with a quickness. That's funny. That's okay, though. Scalping will do that. I don't recommend scalping for most people. It's because then you got to watch it all the time, and there's extra management and shit like that. All right, let's go look at some of these. It's just way more stressful. A lot more mental, emotional capital is wasted on that. Let's see, Phantom. Let's just see what this is doing versus the rest of the market. Look at that. Got bid the hell up. Wow. Nice move, Phantom. Little mini sell-off. Already coming up, making some new highs. Defying Mama Bear's reign. Soul. Let's see if it's got a good soul. Yep, same thing. Looks just like Phantom, pretty much. How funny. Let's go daily. Yeah, wow. Can't stop. Soul, whatever the hell that is. Solana. Swissborg. Swiss Cyborg. What is this? SB. Oh, on HitBTC, the best exchange. Oh, wow. This actually is a pretty nice looking chart. You got the opening EMAs right here, and it's just starting off this little kind of rounded formation. I'd be real cautious, though, because it is up freaking 900%, and with Mama Bear looming on a breakdown, it's not great. But if you took out and looked at this just by itself, I mean, this is exactly what you want to see for continuation to the upside. What's the risk on this? About 20-25%. So pretty hefty risk, but yeah, interesting. I do like this setup here. What about daily? Yeah, daily looks okay. Lots of consolidation. Yeah, and he closes back below 75 cents. It's going to get murder fest. All right, let's see here. I think that was probably about it. Oh, you little bastard. I think that's probably about all. If y'all want me to look at anything, just let me know. Oh yeah. ES giving me a little short-term signal here. Let's go check it out. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna bring this over. Hold on. I think I already messed that up anyway. MES. This one. Trade station. March. Okay, man. Let's just try it. Let's see. Oh yeah. All right. Just taking off of a different signal that I use with tick charts. Unfortunately, TradingView doesn't have tick charts yet. They keep saying that they will bring them on someday, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to happen anytime soon, but that's okay. Someday they'll probably do it because tick charts are badass. Takes time out of the equation, which is nice. They're not great for everything because some stuff doesn't trade enough for it, but whatever. That's a whole nother thing we could talk about for a while. Right, let's go to back and just kind of put Bitcoin on the screen. Just keep an eye on it, see what it's kind of doing. Not sexy at all. I'm gonna be managing some other stuff on my other screen, so just bear with me here. If you want me to look at anything, just throw it in the damn chat, and we'll get to it. That we will. If not, I'll probably just wrap it up there. Is it about lunchtime too? I believe so. Yes, it is. And I'll be hungry. Let's go look at a couple coins that I'm holding right now, see what they're doing. Bitcoin Gold. Consolidation pump, rejection. Ooh, lots of resistance at the 26 area. Daily. Bleh. Not my favorite at all. Yeah, just continue de-risking here a little bit. I just am not a super fan of a lot of this price action. All right, let's do that. Because you always can buy back in, you know? You can always just flip back in a position. It's all good. What sucks is like if you get trapped in like some big ass down move, you know, like say you bought up here and then you're like, oh shit, I'm immediately down 20-30% in a day. You're like, ouch. You know, and then you're like, I guess I'm just gonna keep holding it. It'll come back up. But sometimes, you know, a lot of times it doesn't. Price is king. Price is king. And right now, price on Bitcoin Gold is saying, yep, this hurts. This bears are saying, hey, what's up? 27.50, $27. Till you get back above that, then we'll go chill and go hibernate again. But right now, we're showing ourselves. Like I said, I'm not all out of crypto by any means. I don't have any sign to show me to be 100% in cash or out completely, but there are some signs popping up a little bit. Ooh, look at Litecoin. Ooh, does that just break the one? Nope, almost 165. More rejections. Look at this, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum's a little bit sexier as far as that. As long as it's again holding that 1450-ish area, it's okay. How much What percentage is that from here? It's only about 5% from here, so. Ooh, Doge, the Doge. Yeah, usually you get a little bit quiet time around lunch. People like to go eat in New York, and all the exchanges are pretty much in, New York, Philly area, like Pennsylvania and Chicago. So at least traditional markets, crypto markets, they're all over the place. Bitcoin, though, man. I need to do like some type of. Let's go look at another coin that I'm holding. Lisk. See what it's showing. Ooh, ouch. Oh, ouch. Super ouch. 40% today. Ugh. That's not good. Oh, excuse me. A little lack of oxygen to the brain there. After I saw Lisk go down 25% today. Oh, shit. Jumping out my window. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't joke about that. But it happens. Hey. Oh, yeah. Downward pressure on this, too. I mean, there's no signs of relief yet. We're just going to need to go through the day and see what happens. Not very sexy, though. Big dump. Big mucho dump. Oh, and here's a good thing. We've been talking about these little patterns like here, these little basing saucer type patterns at the top of runs, which have happened all over the crypto space. And those are really, really good patterns. They usually do play out too. But the thing is to know when it's done is just when it breaks the curve. So when you have this little bowl kind of pattern that's like so perfectly drawn right there. Oops, sorry about that. Something like that. Whenever it breaks this and starts not making new highs on the structure, it's just done, like then it negates that whole pattern. And just don't get married to it. This is where you got to be like, oh, shit. If you're kind of trading lower time frames like this, and you just got to let it go. Just be done. There's opportunity everywhere in trading. So don't get married to one thing. That is usually how you lose the monies. Ooh, Pivx, I think, was actually chilling today. Let's go look. Oh, nope. Just kidding. 24% down after a big spinny top doji yesterday. Gnarly downside here. What is this? Like 40%? Yeah. Ultimately, though, from high, it went 60% down in one day, guys. Wowza. That'd be happening. It happens a lot in crypto. But we did bounce nicely off the trend line, so that's cool. All right. Final thoughts with BTC, and I got to go eat some lunch. I'm getting real hungry. Better hold. Hey, that's not BTC. Better hold 46,000 in this wick. Just like all the other coins pretty much have the same type pattern, whether it's around the 200 or 377. Any wicks or closures below that probably gets some more downside, and that's currently at about 46K. Anything back above 48K on the 3 hour, probably get a nice little relief rally off of that. Ethereum, same kind of thing. 140. What the hell am I talking about? 1440. Anything wicking below that, I think wicks at all below 1440 will get further downside. Anything back above about 1590-ish probably gets us a nice little relief rally as well. But yeah, there's definitely some pressure. Just be a little bit cautious. Oh, one thing. I'm sorry. I forgot to talk about this. I think it's very interesting. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. Bitcoin was making new highs when MicroStrategy stopped. It just stalled out and made this little kind of descending triangle formation on the daily. And let's see if we zoom in a little bit. If it's like, it's still kind of sloppy, but whatever. It kind of has like this measured move, and we probably hit this. Yeah, we did. We did hit that measured move from here. So maybe this it is poised for a relief rally, but I just thought it was real interesting that MicroStrategy for since the 14th, even before actually, sorry, the 11th, 10th and 11th, stopped making new highs with Bitcoin when it was running with Bitcoin like this whole time. So some smart money was preparing for this sell-off, it looks like. So I'm going to carry that forward and possibly be watching some MicroStrategy because there's a shit ton of Bitcoin buys in this. And it looks like they were getting ready to dumpity dump. Maybe they knew something. Maybe they didn't. But price, though, said they were getting prepared literally for 2 weeks. Because if we go back over here to Bitcoin, look at this. Same point. Here's the 10th. It goes up. MicroStrategy was just dumping. So, hey, I don't know. Let's just see what Bitty Bitcoin can do. See if it can pull through, get out of the range again, and maybe we can start the party back up. Until then, I'm out. Peace. Much love. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And until then, happy trading. Holla, holla.